But for now, we're turning to the housing market around the QCA and what you can expect in 2025. But to do that, we first have to look back at the numbers for 2024. So Mel Foster Real Estate Company says that overall, the average sales price was just over $232,000 per property last year. That's up about 3% from 2023. But when you look at just new builds, Mel Foster sold 65 of those homes or condos this past year. Those average prices were more than $500,000 each, which is up about 6% from 2023. But what does all of this mean for you as a buyer or a seller? For that, returning to another local real estate company, Chris Beeson, president of Rural and Rural Realtors, joins us here on The Current. Thanks for being here, Chris.
Thank you for having me.
I remember every interview that you and I have done for the last few years, it's been a seller's market. Is that trend continuing into 2025?
Well, we aren't officially out of a seller's market yet, but it is balancing out, fortunately, for a lot of buyers who've been on the fence and expecting or hoping to see more inventory and things loosening up a little bit. We are seeing a little bit of that trending into 2025, which is great news.
Does that mean maybe more of a buyer's market or more balanced?
It really depends on the price point, so it's hard to say generally that that we'll see a buyer's market in the near future. But certain price points would see a buyer's market, especially in some of the upper ends and in certain areas. But overall market conditions, we are still going to be in a seller's market. But instead of being in the 1 or 2 months of inventory, we are almost to 3 months of inventory. So 4 to 6 months of inventory is generally considered a balanced market. Less than that would be a seller's market. And that's where there's not quite enough inventory for relative to the demand that we have out there. So we should see getting close to a balanced market, but still, I guess, technically in a seller's market territory.
Okay, so looking at the inventory itself, let's compare January 1st of 2024 to January 1st of 2025. What is the inventory change?
Sure. So we do have more inventory, fortunately, as I mentioned, and the inventory is up in our entire region about 18%. And in the Quad Cities, about Iowa Quad Cities and Illinois Quad Cities, about 30%. So we are seeing more houses available and more options, which is great for the market overall.
Can you take us down to an even lower level here? Are there specific areas in the QCA that people might see more or less inventory?
I don't have a percent change for you, but definitely I know Davenport on the Iowa side and North Scott have the majority of the inventory that's out there on the Iowa side. And Moline and Rock Island have the highest units out there. But relative to last year, I don't have that for you. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. All right. Well, speaking of last year, last August was a major change in the real estate industry as a whole. Can you break this down for us? What do consumers need to know about the changes to commission pricing?
Oh, sure. Well, it's not necessarily on the commission pricing. It's just more about how buyers agents get paid, and a little bit about how the process has changed up over the past year. So ultimately, it's a good thing for consumers. There's going to be more structure, more conversation up front about how the process works, and I think it'll be a good thing for our buyers coming into this. And we've worked out a lot of the kinks last year with the procedural changes, and I think we're set up that buyers should have a much better process here going forward.
Okay, let's explain this to people really fast. Before, the commission that you would pay would go to the selling agent. Is that true?
So previously, we were allowed to offer co-op compensation to a buyer's agent from the listing agent exclusively. Now that the buyer negotiates that with their agent individually, and it's not necessarily dictated by what the listing agent is offering out as co-op compensation.
Okay, so changes to commission. You got more inventory around the area. The market seems to be trending a little bit more towards the balance. I mean, besides all of these points, Chris, what are you excited about when it comes to 2025?
More normalcy in the market, steady stability. No more changes in our industry, which will be nice to navigate, and it'll be good for buyers and sellers too. There's while most of the friction points that were created were mostly on the agent side, we've figured those out and we're moving forward in the right direction. Interest rates are also stabilizing. That's while they're not heading back low, which we would like to see. I think one of the things that caused a lot of confusion in our industry for our buyers and sellers was what's going to happen to rates. And coming off of 2023, when we experienced a first time in history when interest rates actually doubled in a calendar year, that was a big shock to the system. All the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Mortgage Bankers Association, and NAR are all projecting that while rates won't be coming down, they'll at least be stable and they won't be going up. So we're expecting to see rates in the mid-6 range for the foreseeable future.
Chris, as always, thank you so much for your expertise today.
Thank you for having me.
For you guys at home, we've taken all these facts and figures from our friends at Rural and Rural Realtors and Mel Foster Real Estate and compiled it all for you. Just click on the As Seen on TV tab of WQAD.com.